Hello, everybody. This is Mrs. Ellis. We're going to learn now about a Florida artist whose name is Jen Stark. She's a young artist whose work you may have already seen. This is a close-up picture of her. She was born and raised in Miami, Florida. Yay! She was always interested in painting and sculpture. She would get up early in the morning before her family woke up and used to draw and paint and make collages. She likes what we call drip paintings. That's how she refers to them. Here's a picture of her drip paintings on the side of a building. You could see they're very colorful. Some of the drips are colors and some are black and white. Here's another one of her drip paintings that she keeps on the wall, and here's one that she made on a house. How'd you like to have your house look like that with colorful rainbow drips? Here's another one you might be familiar with. You all go on Facebook? Well, this is a painting done on the walls of the Facebook building in California. And here, if you've watched the M Music Awards on TV, that's, yep, you guessed it, Miley Cyrus doing something very silly. But behind her is the backdrop for the actors and actresses, singers and dancers to get their awards, and they used one of Jen Stark's paintings. So you may have even seen some around. I thought it would be nice to try a little experiment and see what drips are like. So I mixed up some ketchup. Looks like blood, doesn't it? But it's not, it's ketchup. And here's a little tray I had. Let's see what we can get. If I pour some out, there we go. See how the drips are not even and they kind of come down and around and down and up and down and around? These are drips, and this is what we're going to do for our artwork. No, we're not going to be dripping ketchup, but what we're going to do is to create the same idea by using markers with color drips and black and white drips. So let's get started. I'm going to take out my messy mat because I'm using markers and I don't want to get my background all dirty. So Jen Stark, here we come. You'll need a piece of plain printer paper. You'll need lots of color markers. You can use permanent if you want, but the Crayola water-based markers are fine. You'll need a pencil. You'll need a black Sharpie. And a little later on, you'll need scissors. And of course, you'll need some glue. But you won't need this till the end. And you'll need a color paper for the background that you think will look nice. I chose yellow. I just thought it looked nice with all the colors. You can choose whatever color you like. So let's begin. You take your printer paper and you fold it in half like a book. Not a hot dog, like the hamburger bun. And cut that right up the middle. Get your scissors and just follow where you folded it and cut that right up the middle. You need one half. The other half that you have left, fold that in half like a book. Or, I know some of you call it the hamburger bun. And cut that in half also. So when you're finished, you will have a large piece and a small piece. Okay, this is for the color drips, and this is for the black and white drips. So let's begin with the color drips. Take your pencil. Now, if you feel like you could do this right away with the marker, you go right ahead. But I feel more comfortable starting with the pencil. Remember how the drips came down and up and they weren't even? Well, we're going to start like that. Start at the corner. If you're right-handed, you'll start here. If you're left-handed like me, you'll start here. And just drip it down and come back up, and a little drip and a long drip and back right up to the end. Your drips go from end to end of the paper. Now leave a space and make your next drip, but don't make it exactly the same as the first drip. Maybe you want to have a double and another and right to the end. And you continue to do that till you're almost at the bottom. Not all the way, leave some space. See, all of my drips are a little bit different. But remember, the drips come down and around. Make them round at the bottom, and then come up, and then up. And I think I have enough drips there. I actually have 1, 2, 3, 4 drips. All right. Do I want, you know what? There's too much space here for the first drip. I'm going to put another smaller drip inside. Dum-de-dum. Drippy, drippy. There. So now I have 1 drip, 2 drips, 3 drips, 4 drips, 5 drips. Now, if you've done it with pencil, you need to go back over it with the Sharpie marker. Okay? If you've done it with the Sharpie marker right from the beginning, well, okay. You are a brave soul. I needed to do it in pencil first. And just go over all of your drips until they are done. There. Now we're ready to start putting the color in. Each drip will be different color. Now it doesn't matter where you start. You can start any drips you like. I think I'll just make sure you stay in the right drip. I sometimes went right off the drip into another one. I'm going to do this one. So I start, now I like to start on the side of my marker. I get a wide line, I press down, and then I can get more colored in quickly. I use the point when I come around to the real little spots. Otherwise, hold your marker on the side, press down on it when you work, and you can see that it'll work very nicely. Use the point for little spots, maybe that you miss, that you leave white, and all of your drips down to your last drip gets color into it. All right, you do that each one. And use bright colors, boys and girls. You can use any color you want, but please don't use black because that's going to be for something else. And you work drip, drip by drip. It's kind of like a little strip of drips, isn't it? Notice I made mine kind of wider at the bottom. As I said, I like to outline it first. Sometimes I turn the paper around. Certainly, you can do that if that's easier for you. Now I just have to go inside. I'm holding it on the side, and I'm pressing down on it a little bit. There we go. All the way around. I just find outlining it makes it easier for me, but maybe it's not easier for you. You do it however you like to do it. Okay, right to the end of your paper, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, and children of all ages. That's what they used to say at the circus. Okay, so I finished my first one. Now I'm ready for my second one. And as I said, you know, you can use whatever colors you like except black. And just continue each drip. Not the last one. The last one ends here and then it's the background. Don't do the background. Just your drips until you are totally finished with them. I'm not finished with this one, as you could see. I have one more drip to do. This one here, and then this is the background. So I'm just going to do, I'll have a little background here too because my drip came in. So I'm going to finish this drip here. You don't have to have a lot of drips, but you should probably have about 4 or 5 to make it really look good. Less than that, it looks kind of like a quickie drawing, and you don't get that effect of oozing, drippy stuff coming down. All right, I'm kind of working a little bit quickly, probably not as neat or careful as you would be, because I know you're all my artists. So I'll finish this, and then when we're done with that, we're going to do some cutting, and I'll show you where. That's why I'm kind of in a hurry to do everything for you and show you. This is my last drip. Got to get around there. Don't forget, if you do it in pencil, go over it with the black Sharpie marker. As I said, I turn mine around. I go right along the edge. That's why I like my messy mat, though I don't get the table all dirty. Here we go. Right in there. Good. Now I'm done. Now we're going to cut this bunch of drips out. And you cut, leave a little bit of the white when you cut. Just a little bit. Don't cut right on your drip line. It's okay if you go a little bit off. It's all right. But try and leave a little bit of white. If you can't get into those teeny tiny spots, don't worry about it. Don't go there then. It's okay. I just kind of keep my scissors still and turn my paper mostly. That works for me. See, I'm keeping my scissors kind of still, but I'm turning the paper all around. There. And there's one more spot I missed. Right up there. I want to get a little bit of that off. Now that's my first strip set already. Now go to that smaller paper that you have. Remember that little half of a half sheet? You're going to do the same thing with your drips, just like you did before. Now you should be very good at making drips. Oh, you can make some big drips and some little drips. But this time, when you put the color in, you're going to alternate black and white, black and white, black and white, black and white. Make sure you get right to the edge of your paper. Once again, I'm going to put a little one up here. Drippy, 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 drippy. Drip. This is going to be my last drip. Look at those drips. Ooh, ooey, gooey drips. And now you're doing it black and white, black and white, black and white until you have your drips here. And once again, you do the same thing. You take away the background and just leave your drips. I came in a little bit. It doesn't have to always go across. These I stopped right over here, which you can do too. And cut once again. Keep a little bit of the white, a little bit of the white, and if you miss a drip here and there, it's okay. Or if you end up making another little cut, it's all right. Got to get in there though. Remember, only up till your last drip. And see, the bottom part should be the rounded part and the top part is going to be flat. Then you take your drips and you find a piece of paper whose color you think goes very nicely with what you have, and you glue it together. You put your first strip on top, and before you glue it, slip the black and white one underneath, and then you glue them down to your paper. This one I cheated, I taped it a little bit, so it slipped. So I'm just going to move it up just a drop to show you. You want to show as much of your drip as you can. So there. I'm going to move that one down. And here we are, boys and girls. Here's one of my Jen Stark drip pictures. And here's another one. Remember, the flat is the top. And here's another drip. You notice that the black and white one is smaller than the one on top. So let's see your Jen Stark drip pictures. Take a picture, send it to me at my email, ellisartsmarties@gmail.com. Don't forget to tell me who you are so I know who made your beautiful drippy picture. And don't forget to subscribe. Press the subscribe button, and I will see you next time for our next project. Bye.